Now, this local Castle Country sports update with Jordan Buscarini from KOAL.
We're being joined today in studio by Casey Wilson. You know him from the Real Estate Titans. He's also an event organizer for a tournament that we have coming up here in the Castle Country called Battin For Brothers. It's a baseball tournament to benefit the CJ Smuin Memorial Foundation. And Casey, it's great to get you in. I appreciate the time.
I really appreciate you having me in to come and talk about this. This is a really important cause for us, and we're really excited to get this tournament rolling out there. So we're just trying to get the word out to everybody, and coming here to meet with you is a great opportunity to do that. So I appreciate it.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure. I know that baseball in Carbon County in the summer just has a special tradition with it. And I was a little sad this year when we saw that we wouldn't have an American Legion season. I don't know if there's a better setting for youth baseball, seriously, in the state than the Helper American Legion field in the summertime. I mean, it's awesome.
It's fantastic. And yeah, it's a little bit devastating that we're not there, in the evenings. To me, that's one of the coolest experiences that Carbon County has to offer. We are a baseball town, and people here love baseball, and we've been a baseball town for a long time. And it really stinks that we don't have that opportunity to go out to Helper and watch those evening games and night games and all summer long, because that's one of the coolest experiences in Carbon County. But you know what? Baseball's still alive and strong, and it's important for us, and one of our goals here is to continue the reputation that Carbon baseball has. And so this tournament, we saw a great opportunity to do that, and we're really excited to kind of get this tournament off the ground. We want to make it an annual event that people from all over the state just clamor for and plan for and want to come back every single year.
Let's talk about where the proceeds go, because obviously the CJ Smuin Memorial Foundation, it's a big deal here in the Castle Country, and suicide prevention in general is a very big deal. And this tournament represents so much more than just baseball, Casey, and I think that's a great place to start, where the proceeds go and maybe the backstory around the CJ Smuin Memorial Tournament.
Yeah, our community was rocked a couple of years ago, absolutely rocked when we lost CJ, and he made such a big impact in the lives of our local baseball teams and baseball players. His teammates were inspired by him. The younger kids looked up to him. Even the adults really learned valuable lessons from him. He was such a great kid and such a shining star with a great future. And the Smuin family has done an amazing job of creating a legacy around CJ that brings attention to suicide prevention and awareness. They have a scholarship that they give away to baseball players who excel both on the field and the classroom. They offer scholarships in CJ's name. And this year, they've announced that now they're also doing a softball scholarship. So we're getting the girls involved in that, and they're doing a really lot of great things. And, this community has recently been rocked again by, suicide events in the last few weeks. And so, mental health is a really important priority, and in the sporting community, mental health can take its toll, and we want to bring awareness to that and just let people know that it's okay to get help, and how do I get help, and who do I talk to. And the CJ Smuin Memorial Foundation does such an amazing job. The people who created it, the people who run it and support it, they top-notch, the best people you'll ever meet in your life. And so we want to do whatever we can to help them. So all the proceeds from this tournament are going to be donated to the CJ Smuin Memorial Foundation. They do the baseball camp every year. We got kids coming from out of state to participate in that baseball camp. And so, we're gonna give them whatever help we can give them to support them, because they're really doing some great things for suicide prevention and awareness.
Again, our guest right now, Casey Wilson, as we talk about the Battin For Brothers tournament, which is coming to Price July 28th and 29th. Casey, it is a 19U division, but it's also a wood bat tournament. There's nothing like a wood bat tournament when it comes to baseball. I was so happy when I saw that. But let's talk about the divisions, the type of teams that you guys are trying to attract to this tournament, because it is 19U, so we should see some elite competition throughout the state.
Yeah, and so one of the biggest goals is that we want to create a quality tournament. This has been something that's been in the works for a long time, that we wanted to bring a tournament to Carbon County that represents, top quality baseball. We want really high quality teams. We want to roll out the red carpet and make coming to Carbon County to play in this tournament every year an experience that these kids will remember forever. we want teams to be so excited to be able to come back year after year after year. So you talked about that this is a 19U tournament. I can't emphasize enough that that's the plan for this year. We really want to continue to build on this and make this, create multiple age groups that is bringing people into Carbon County. We have good facilities here. The Price City has been kind enough to allow us to use the Carbon High baseball fields for this tournament, so we're excited about that. We are just really trying to get, like I said, the top-notch quality tournaments and create a first-class tournament that people are excited to come back for every year.
With all that being said, when I say price, that's kind of vague too. So where are we planning on holding the tournament once it takes place?
So depending on how many teams that we have, it could fluctuate. But as of right now, we're really trying to get 8 to 12 teams. If we get the 8 to 12 teams for this specific tournament, we should be able to get everything done at the high school baseball facilities.
Which is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, no, they're fantastic. The city did a great job with them. They do a great job with the upkeep of the field. It's a cool field for people who come to play baseball to play on. Hopefully the teams come and they have a good experience.
I want to talk about the local teams that will be involved in this regard because, typically we'd see Helper, right? Helper would have a 19U team. So I guess what's the format of grabbing local kids? Are we going to have multiple teams here? What can we expect to see from a local standpoint?
Yeah, we're hoping that we have multiple local teams here. A lot of probably this is going to be centered, the main local team will be centered around the kids who didn't have that opportunity to play Legion ball because of the unfortunate circumstances this year that Legion had to cancel their season. So we're trying to get those kids, the opportunity to play in this tournament and represent their town, represent their fallen teammate in CJ Smuin, and contribute back a little bit to his legacy.
When we look at the idea of reaching out to teams around the state, now, look, we've competed. Helper has competed in tournaments in Idaho. I know that there was one on the schedule this year, right? So it's trying to get this out to as many teams as possible. How do you go about finding more information? If you're a coach listening or seeing this and you say, okay, this is something we'd be interested in doing, what's the best way to go about finding more information?
Yeah, so anybody can reach out to me directly. My number is 435-850-0048. That would be a great place to start. We are trying to get this spread throughout the baseball community. Coach Rob Smith is working really hard to try to help us track down teams that we can play against. We're trying to hold a really high standard. We want good quality teams here so that, again, that people say, no, this is a first-class tournament, and when we come here, we're going to have an opportunity to compete against really good teams and grow and get better and learn and be competitive, and hopefully we can put on a good experience for the fans. We want the whole community to come out and watch this event, and in order to do that, we need to have good quality teams. And so we're working very diligently on trying to fill those spots right now. And, we're not quite there yet, so I can't really say what teams will come, but we're working really hard. There's a lot of interest out there. We've talked to a lot of people who are interested. We're just trying to make sure, we're trying to get people to commit at this point in time. The tournament is going to be the last weekend of July. It's July 28th and 29th. So, we have just a little bit more time to fill those squads, but we need to do it pretty quickly.
And I know that there is a ton of people working behind the scenes. You've been appointed as a spokesman for this tournament, but boy, you guys have a great team, a lot of people that are working hard on this.
There is. The group behind this, in order to take a tournament like this and build it, you really have to have a good team behind you. The people that are behind this we are just such a close-knit bunch. We've grown up in baseball together with our kids since they were 7 years old. We've been able to organize a lot of great things for baseball, both in our community and out. And so I can't say enough, for the people behind this. Shane Henry being one of the main focal points of this. Great guy who's done so much for youth baseball in our area. And so this is just another way to kind of expand this. And this tournament it's really important for our kids because of the connections to CJ Smuin. This is their teammate. He was their teammate. And so the whole kind of goal here is that we're setting this tournament up for them so that they can, down the line, they can continue to work his legacy and grow his legacy and continue to bring attention to suicide awareness and prevention.
Well, Casey, I definitely appreciate you taking out the time to join today here in the studio and kind of talk about what we have up and coming. The Batting for Brothers baseball tournament, again, July 28th and 29th. It'll be in Price, 19U, 4 games guaranteed for every team that competes. And my favorite part of all is it's the wood bat.
The kids love the wood bats.
Oh, my goodness, how can you not?
We played in. We usually try to get 1 or 2 wood bat tournaments every year with this group and so it's always so much fun, and they just enjoy it so much. And I'll tell you, you've never seen joy so much as an excitement as when a kid breaks their wood bat, just like a major leaguer would, right? Yeah. Like I've watched players. I've watched some of our youth players intentionally try to break bats because they think it looks cool, right? And so wood bats are a lot of fun. And when we started putting this tournament together and we met as a group, it wasn't even a question. I mean, it was unanimous that this has to be a wood bat tournament.
And the most important thing, all the proceeds going to the CJ Smuin Memorial Foundation. And so a great cause. And I'm hoping that this really turns into a tradition that you and I are sitting here 10, 15 years from now talking about it. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly the goal. And we want this to be one of those legacy tournaments. We want to build a reputation around it, that this is the place for elite teams to come to. And you know what? It's a privilege because Carbon County is still a big hidden secret to a lot of people. A lot of people don't know just how cool our community is, all the neat stuff that we have and the history behind it, and 9 Mile Canyon and the petroglyphs and all that. There's so many cool hidden treasures that people just don't know about in Carbon County. So if we can get people here and open the doors for our community for people who don't know it otherwise, I think that people will love it so much that they really will continue to want to come back.
I agree. Casey, again, thank you so much for taking out the time. We got to make sure we get together again before the tournament, maybe one more time to kind of set the stage.
Yes, when we have all the details kind of dialed in, we'd love to come back in here and talk to you and let you know exactly what's going on. Let everybody know, when and where they can find the games, which teams are going to be competing, and we can and just give everybody more details as we get a little bit closer.
Can't wait for it. Casey, thank you again.
All right. Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate you having us.